afternoon. A warm welcome to Nosey Road, St Helens, for this afternoon's Stones Bitter League clash. The Saints versus Castleford. Saints are being led out this afternoon by the matchday mascot, who is David Trainer. David's 9 years old. He attends Willow Tree Primary School up there at Clockface. Just coming out there from the tunnel with Saints captain Shane Cooper. Nice sunny day. Saints up at the Eddington end of the ground. David out there with his favourites. Big day for this young fella. A big task for the Saints today against this Castleford pack, a giant Castleford pack. Always good set of forwards there from over there at Weldon Road. Anyway, the Saints just out limbering up. I'll go through the team for you now. Number 1, Phil Beavers. 2, Kevin McCormick. 3, David Tanner. 4, Paul Loughlin. 5, Les Quirk. 6, Shane Cooper. 7, Mark Bailey. Neil Holding still out with a shoulder injury. 8, Tony Burke. 9, Mark Lee. 10, Paul Farber. 11, Sean Allen. 12, Big John Harrison, making his first team debut for the Saints since signing last season from the Parkside Amateur Rugby League Club. And number 13 is Bernard Dwyer, with substitutes for Saints. And number 14, Paul Doherty, and 15, Paul Jones. So a daunting task there, and a debut, a big game debut for John Harrison. He's had some rave games in the A team. He's a big lad. He's 6'7". He's out there just limbering up. Just waiting for the Castleford outfit to come out now. There's a spotlight on Bernard Dwyer, just limbering up there. Mark Bailey with him. A good combination. Last week at Warrington, Mark Bailey, it was only his 3rd touch of the ball. He went over and scored. So let's hope we can get the act together this afternoon. Stuart Evans still out with a nasty gash on the forehead. Also John Fieldhouse now been given the all clear for playing, and Chris Arkwright's coming along very well in his quest for full fitness. So as I say, just waiting for the Castleford outfit to come out now. Obviously taking the time. There they come, led by wily campaigner John Joyner. He's taking his position at loose forward today, but the Castleford side, I'll just go through them for you now. Number 1, David Rookley. 2, David Plange. 3, Tony Marchant. 4, Giles Boothroyd. 5, Chris Chapman. 6, Grant Anderson. 7, Roy Southernwood. 8, Kevin Ward. 9, Kevin Beardmore. 10, Keith England. 11, Martin Kettridge. 12, Ron Gibbs. 13, John Joyner, with substitutes for Castleford. Number 14, Gary Belcher, just flew in at the weekend. Australian Test fullback Belcher. And 15, Dean Sampson. Today's referee is Mr. Valente from Batley. Both captains out there, centre field. John Joyner and Shane Cooper. Matchday mascot for Saints, David Trainer there, just coming out. Centre field, Shane Cooper there, pushing him into the centre. The coin's tossed. Mascot David receives the coin, goes over there to the main stand side to take his place with his dad. Saints are going to be kicking off, playing down to the clubhouse end for this first half. So both teams unbeaten this season. Valuable 2 points at stake. Referee Valente checking his watch. Paul Loughlin to kick off, and away we go. Kick deep into the corner. Chris Chapman, left wing for Castleford, takes the ball up to the 25. Keith England there driving up. Beardmore at dummy half, and the ball slips through his hands. Comes back to Martin Kettridge, charged down by Paul Farber. Saints in possession. John Harrison with his first touch, holding down at the play of the ball. Farber pushing him off. Saints on the attack. Castleford have penalised for offside. Saints receiving the first penalty. Kettridge kicked upfield, Farber charged it down. There was a slight offside up the Castleford men as the ball came down, but it came back after being juggled to John Harrison. He was heckled on the floor, but the referee didn't stop play for that. But as he attempted to play the ball to Paul Farber, Castleford encroached and were duly penalised. So it's the Saints' chance to get 2 points on the board after just a minute of play. Paul Loughlin lining up. Already kicked 11 so far this season in the opening 2 games. Looks good, yes, right between the sticks. Loughlin pops it over. Saints take an early 2-0 lead. Castleford kick it deep. Paul Loughlin gathers it. Shoulder charges one Castleford man off, drives forward. Castleford moving up very quickly. Tony Burke now. In with the shoulder, drives forward. Roy Southernwood roughing him up there. With number 11, Kettridge. Saints again a bit hassled there. Loughlin does well. Beats the 2 initial Castleford tacklers. It was coming back for the kick downfield, but Castleford moved up very quickly. Well, they can't be 5 yards, surely. Anyway, it's David Tanner now going crossfield, trying to create the gap. Well, number 10 there, England going in with a second tackle. Shane Cooper now. Castleford moving up very quickly. Referee signalling the 6th tackle. The ball to Beavers. Good kick from Beavers in space, taken by David Rookley. Super tackling from the Saints. The crowd here on the popular side and certainly all over the ground getting behind these Saints in the early minutes. Beardmore trying to grubber his way through. No, beg your pardon. David Plange was over there at the far side. There's Beardmore with the ball now, taking it left to Kettridge. Tony Burke, Mark Lee and Big John Harrison in there at the tackle. Castleford in possession, moving it to the left. Joyner onto Ron Gibbs. Rambo Ron Gibbs as he's known. Fiery Australian forward. Castleford grubber to touch. Right through Kevin McCormick's legs. A rather speedy ball at low level. McCormick tried to stop it with his legs, but it ran right through him. So it's a Saints feed. Well, Southernwood there, onto Bailey. Well, it must have touched McCormick, and it's a Castleford feed. And Southernwood doing a bit of professional fouling, I could only put it down to. Referee right in the centre of the pack, saying what he wants. Well, that's the tunnel's got to be parallel with the halfway line, but it goes against the feed. Cooper quickly across field, up to Tanner. Loughlin in the line out. Tanner still going. Brilliant play from the Saints. Cleared the line there after being under a lot of pressure. Well, Mark Bailey. Roy Southernwood quickly in there with Kevin Ward. Certainly roughing up in the early stages. Big John Harrison driving through, getting this lad in the clear. He's 6'7". It takes some pulling down once he gets those long legs moving. The ball back to Beavers. Hefty kick upfield, and Beavers is taken down. But play is allowed to go on, is it? No. Well, a hefty kick from Beavers there. The ball kicked right down about 10-15 yards from the Castleford line. Saints with a quick tap penalty. Cooper takes it quickly, but he's harassed. It's Ketteridge here doing a lot of agitating off the ball, but it's Saints on the attack. Bernard Dwyer, 10 yards short. Saints with the tails up. Over to the right, forward, changing direction, goes in field. Unlucky there. Feeds on to Sean Allen, he just couldn't take it. The idea was right from forward, change of direction. When all the Castleford were coming over here to the Saints right. But Castleford capitalised on the loose ball. Beardmore, Southernwood attacked in half-back. Tony Burke and John Allison bring him down. Castleford bring it back for the kick upfield. Beavers gets it this time after Rookley kicks upfield. Beavers goes crossfield. John Joyner brings him down. Sean Allen attacks in half-back, goes on his own. Nearly penetrates the Castleford defence there. But certainly the first few minutes are to go by. It's an exciting game, but sloppy handling there from the Saints. The ball goes down, Castleford capitalise on it. Ron Gibbs. Solid tackle from Burke, but he manages to evade it. Gibbs still going. Saints will have to get there in numbers 2 and 3 tattlers to bring these big forwards down. Kevin Ward now, international pack-man. He's just come back from a spell with Manley, I think it was. But Castleford, Ketteridge now, driving through. Well, he's certainly dishing it out, Ketteridge, and if this referee doesn't get a grip, there's going to be trouble. They look as though they come here to battle, both Southernwood and Ketteridge, but it's number 10 forward, Keith England now, driving upfield, 10 yards from the Saints line. Joyner trying to work the loop movement with Beardmore. But Beavers is there, completes the tattle after Bernard Dwyer has him round the legs. The last tattle now for Castleford, super tattle there. And Gibbs, I think that was, coming through at pace from a short ball from Ward, and super tattling there from the Saints. Martley, I think it was, that pulled that tattle off. The first changeover of the game. And Saints are back in possession, the 10 yards from their own line. Bernard Dwyer there trying to clear the ranks. Castleford lying up very quickly. Saints take it to the left. Tony Burke beats one, passes inside. Lovely dummy there from Martley. And Saints are away. Sean Allen, inside ball to Mark Bailey. Saints there certainly coming 50 yards, keeping the attack up. Cooper takes it left, took work. Just pushed into touch, forced into touch over there on the left. But what enterprising play from Saints. Super quick ball there, and Sean Allen streaking through. So it's a scrum down now, just outside the Castleford 25. Southernwood to feed. Still 2 points to nil in Saints' favour. Castleford come up with the ball. Castleford gain another 5 yards. Beardmore, I think that's Rookley, linking up with the back division. Beardmore again, the ball back to Ketteridge for the kick upfield. Beavers well positioned, no problem. But number 6 there, Grant Anderson, quickly up there, looking a bit aggressive. Well, he's in again. Anderson nearly took Kevin McCormick's head off this time. Onto Paul Farber. Still going Farber. Breaks one tackle. Kevin McCormick now coming in field. Well, Gibbs on there. Gibbs going in on Kevin McCormick with a short arm jab, as Kent Walter would say. They're right in front of the touch judge here. Yes. Gibbs being warned. Going in with the elbow by referee Volante, so Saints are awarded a penalty. Paul Laughlin's going to have another go for goal. Already kicked one with just a minute and a half of the game gone, which is Saints 2 points to 0 lead. Paul Loughlin asking the referee if the Castleford 4-man wall is the 10 yards from the ball, but certainly a short 10 yards. But Loughlin lining up there, professionalism from the Castleford outfit. Oh, no problem for Loughlin. Despite all that harassment, bangs it over right between the sticks, and Saints are now 4 points to 0 in the lead after just 11 minutes. Certainly going to be a battle in the centre field with the Castleford forwards. Obviously Saints with 2 and 3 forwards out through injury, with Fieldhouse, Platt, well, Andy Platt, he's gone now, hasn't he? But Fieldhouse, Evans and Chris Arkwright. But it's Saints in possession. Just about 5 yards outside their own 25. Mark Lee puts the ball back to Paul Loughlin. Hefty kick upfield. Number 5, Chris Chapman, has to turn round, try and gather it. He does gather it safely. McCormick stops him. He passes the ball in field. Onto the left centre, Giles Boothroyd. The ball's loose. Saints capitalise on it. John Harrison looking to release Harrison, but just have to take his time, keep the ball there, but Saints are in possession. Tony Burke from a standing start, tremendous forward, drives into the Castleford 25 now. Mark Lee attacked in half-back for Saints. Saints taking it left. Loop movement with Shane Cooper. The ball back to Mark Lee. Castleford don't take the dummy. Gibbs is quickly in there at the tackle, and Saints moving it to the left. Cooper again. Onto Mark Bailey. Straightens up, but 3-man Castleford outfit come in there, bring him down, force the Saints back. Cooper again. Loop movement with Sean Allen. Onto John Harrison. Forward pass, I think, being ruled by referee Valenti. And a scrum down ruled just 5 yards outside the Castleford 25. No Castleford feed, Roy Southernwood to feed, and Castleford come up with the ball. Bring it left to Grant Anderson. Ketteridge now driving upfield, brought down just short of the halfway. Tony Burke in there, and Mark Bailey. John Joyner, dummy half. Well, Castleford getting mixed up, but Rookley tidies up, but the ball goes backwards. That's signalled by the referee. Beardmore attacked it half-back. Castleford moving to the right. Southernwood trying to go through, looking to duck under the tackle, but no way through for him. And Castleford bring it to the left. Chip kick through the plan move. Obviously brings it left to Boothroyd. Super tackle there. David Tanner, good try saving tackle, but Castleford on the attack. Southernwood driving through, brought down inches short. He's lost the ball in the tackle. No, it's the changeover. Well, Castleford do or die there, but it's the changeover. I think that's Harrison. No, it's not. Harrison stepping up for the dummy half now. They're trying to confuse me with all these headbands. It was Paul Farber. Now on to John Harrison. Saints moving it left. And Bernard Dwyer comes in field. It's Mark Lee now, attacked in half-back. Castleford moving up extremely quickly. Cooper makes the break. Onto Bailey. 3-man overlap on the left. Bailey gives the dummy, still going. Inside to Sean Allen. Onto Kevin McCormick. The chase is up for the line. He's going to score. Yes! McCormick finishes off in the corner. Brilliant try by Kevin McCormick. Nearly a full length of the field job after Castleford had nearly scored on the Saints line. Saints with a changeover and through quite a few pair of hands, but Mark Bailey very instrumental in that try. He gave the dummy, it looked as though he'd done the wrong thing with 2 men on his left. He gave the dummy, Castleford take it, and McCormick finished off in style in the corner. Well, a standing ovation here all all round the ground, and especially over here, right where we are on the Popular side, as Kevin McCormick opens his account with the Saints this season. A brilliant try. This surely will be topped by a brilliant conversion from Paul Loughlin. Just about 2 or 3 yards in. Looks as though he's taking it to the left. Unlucky there, Paul Loughlin. But the score's 8 points to 0 now in Saints' favour, and just a quarter of an hour of this game gone. Tremendous start from the Saints. 8 points to 0 up. Brilliant movement there from the Saints. A full length of the field job. Gibbs now back fully clothed. Castleford kick off. David Tanner stops it with his foot, gathers it safely. Well, head tackle there, Marchant. We're trying to rule out head tackles in the Rugby League this season, but David Tanner feeling the full force of that Tony Marchant tackle. Saints are awarded a penalty. Paul Loughlin with a hefty kick downfield. Well, just doesn't go into touch, taken by Arukley on his own 25. Beardmore attacked in half-back. Castleford moving it to the right. Saints pressing up on them very quickly. It's a toss-up whether Castleford have been onside all the match, but Saints have certainly took command. When Saints are in possession, Castleford have certainly pressed up very quickly, and Saints are doing likewise. Castleford still in possession. Just penetrating the Saints half. Solid tackling there. Harrison and Burke quickly in there. Joyner onto Kevin Ward. Get in there, but he gets the ball out to Southernwood, who releases it to Beardmore. Goes up centre field, looking for support, but it's all Saints. Saints bring him down. It's the sixth tackle for Castleford, and it's on to Ward. Looking for runners. Well, that was shoulder high by the jersey. Paul Loughlin telling the referee Volante that it was round the shoulders. It certainly looked round the shoulders to me. Looked as though he made a meal of it, that Castleford man, but Castleford are awarded the penalty. A great win at Warrington last week by the Saints with Shane Cooper. He must have been man of the match. Both the opening games, he certainly played out of his skin. Mark Bailey came on, scored a try, and Paul Loughlin 6 goals, and a Mark Lee drop goal. A great 25 points to 14 win. But Castleford back to the full complement. Number 15, he's gone cross field there, but he's run right into the in-goal area. Obviously came on as a standby just in case the Castleford player was unable to carry on. But it's Ward driving for the Saints line now. 3 and 4 Saints men finally bringing him down. It's Castleford on the attack, bringing it left. Well, he has the cheek to penalise Saints. Just about 2 or 3 yards from their own line. And Samson there, 15 forward for Castleford comes on. I think it's Kettridge, the regular goal kicker for Castleford. But Saints there penalised for offside. And Kettridge is just over 10 yards out. Shouldn't have any problem. Just halfway through this first half, Kettridge strikes the ball well and reduces the Saints lead. 8 points to Saints now, 2 points to Castleford. Well, as I was just saying before, it seems Castleford have not been onside all the match, and as he was putting a bit of pressure on Saints. The referee managed to spot Saints offside and penalised them. Kettridge converted it. Well, knock on there, double knock on from this left winger Chris Chapman. A hefty kick there from Paul Loughlin. A real low trajectory kick right down in the corner, and Chapman couldn't gather it, so puts the pressure back now on Castleford as Mark Bailey comes up to feed the scrum. Saints win the feed. Take it to the left. Cooper, short ball to Kevin McCormick. Quick ball there to David Tanner. On to Vivers. Well, a good smother tackle there from Tony Marchant as Vivers tried to release. Saints keep it going. Sean Allen brought down a yard short from the line. Saints putting all the pressure on. Bernard Dwyer brings it left. Cooper, lofted ball to Mark Bailey, but an equally good tackle from the Castleford outfit. Cooper, reverse pass to Farber, going for the line. 2 yards short now, and it's all Saints. Mark Lee attacked in half-back. Gives the dummy, tries to drive in. It's the last tackle now, the 6th tackle for the Saints. Farber, dummy's through, and he touched down. No, the Castleford man has to touch down behind his own line, so Castleford forced to drop out from between their own sticks. Good bit of pressure there from the Saints. Unfortunately, they couldn't convert it into points. Farber had the right idea, thought he'd catch Castleford napping. Les Quirk there, kicks it up, picks it up. Probably his first touch of the game, Les Quirk, not been in much of the action. John Harrison now comes on that short ball from Mark Bailey. Takes it left to Quirk again. Well, Harrison there did well, he broke through. Quirk in support. Saints again in the Castleford 25. Good dummy from Bernard Dwyer. Looking for support inside. Burke on his outside and Mark Bailey inside. Cooper now, lofted pass to David Tanner. Does well. Keeps the ball in field, Tanner. Castleford come in very quickly. Loughlin attacked in half-back. Loop movement with Cooper. Loughlin again. Back to Mark Bailey. Beavers coming through on the left, but Bailey brought down. Good tackle there from Beardmore. Saints take it left as well, Harrison. Takes it cleanly. Change overruled. Certainly exciting play, but Castleford in possession. They're in their own 25. Probably a couple of forward drives from Castleford, and then no doubt they put the ball back to Kettridge for a kick upfield. But Plange there, I think it is, coming in field looking for some action. Out on a limb. Over there on the right wing. Here's the kick, it's Rookley for the kick upfield. Try to hold the Saints back in their own 25. Vivers takes it. Charles Boothroyd up very quickly, but David Tanner attacked in half-back, and Castleford are penalised to some jeers, sarcastic jeers from the Saints Speckies. So it's Paul Loughlin for the added yardage. Just finds touch on the halfway line. Mark Lee to resume. Castleford moving up very quickly. Up to Farber, Cooper, out to Loughlin, but the ball goes back. Quirk tidies up. Referee indicates that the ball has gone backwards. Well, Plange in there, lying on, but Saints take it upfield. Looks like Bernard Dwyer. Sean Allen now in possession. Striding through them, Sean Allen. Certainly having a good game. He was instrumental in the original break from that Kevin McCormick try. Cooper. Well, Castleford moving up extremely quickly. Not being penalised by referee Volante. He's just looking, he's not even penalising. Rookley now, full back. Tanner and McCormick bring him down. Just in front of us, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Boothroyd for Castleford in possession. Ron Gibbs coming back very slowly there. He looks a little worse for wear. But it's Keith England now for Castleford. Beardmore at dummy half. On to Kettridge. Big lad, this Kettridge. Joyner. On to Gibbs. Pushes one tattle off, releases the ball to Southernwood, I think it is. But as he was pouncing about, Allen quickly in there and dumped him down. No, it was David Ruckley that Sean Allen bounced down. But Saints putting Castleford under a lot of pressure on the sixth tattle. They boot the ball directly into touch, so it constitutes the changeover with it being on the sixth tattle. Bernard Dwyer plays it. Mark Lee takes it left to Paul Farber. Saints in possession. The crowd here crying for the referee to get the Castleford outfit onside. Tony Burke brought down 10 yards inside the Castleford half. Mark Lee inside to Shane Cooper. Wily campaigner Cooper looking for every way to get through this Castleford defence. Saints moving it left. Sean Allen straightens up. Back to Bernard Dwyer. Bernard taking it to the left. John Harrison now takes it left to Mark Lee. Little chip kick through to Mark Bailey. Hacks it on Mark Bailey, but offside being ruled. Well, referee right on the job there, and Mark Lee kicking through. Obviously a planned move, but Mark Bailey being adjudged offside, so Castleford are awarded the penalty. "26 minutes of this first half gone. Saints still in the lead by 8 points to 2. Castleford to restart. Beardmore takes it left to Ward, I think it is. He took his eye off the ball, he knocked it forward. John Harrison quickly in there for the tattle, so it's going to be a scrum down just 10 yards outside the Saints 25. Mark Bailey to feed. Well, Southernwood there, he's supposed to be behind the loose forward, but he was lying up a bit. Saints handling just a little lax there, but Bernard Dwyer, lovely ball round his man to Loughlin. He couldn't gather it. He knocks it forward. Boothroyd comes on it, and Castleford are in possession. England driving upfield. Very unlucky there, Saints. The idea was right, but the ball just going to ground. Ketteridge striding up, less than 10 yards from the Saints line. Southernwood. Boothroyd now going into the corner. Yes, Castleford for him in for a try in this left-hand corner. 28 minutes of this first half, and Boothroyd going in for a try. A mistake by Saints centre field as Bernard Dwyer passed round the Castleford man to Paul Loughlin. He couldn't gather it, the ball went down, and Castleford capitalised on it from there. So it's Ketteridge now with the attempted conversion. About 5 yards in and 25 yards out. 8 points to 6 now in the Saints' favour. And here's Ketteridge just composing himself, lining up just to the left of the left hand upright. A good effort, but just not good enough. So it's 8 points to 6 in Saints' favour. Well, Castleford, they had a good win last week at home. They dumped the Challenge Cup runners-up Halifax, dumped them right out of the style, 30 points to 0. And in the first match, they won away at the Boulevard by 18 points to 8. So as I said, both teams unbeaten, and certainly a titanic battle today. Both teams at the top of the East Owensboro League Championship, with Wakefield, who were also unbeaten, but Castleford very lucky there from the kick-off. The ball going right through the Castleford players' hands. The Chapman again it was, but I think it was Ruckley kept it in field just before it went dead. Well, Cabbage in there, Chapman, but Castleford take the ball to the right, and it's Ward in possession. Big forward, takes some pulling down. Beardmore back to Ruckley for the kick-up field, and the referee penalises the Saints for offside once again. Ketteridge finds touch on the main stand side, just 10 yards outside his own 25. Beardmore to restart, onto Ketteridge now, runs into a wall of Saints there with big John Harrison and Tony Burke, but it's Ward again now. Bernard Dwyer in there with Mark Lee, wrestling to the ground, but he's brought down just short of the halfway. Onto Southernwood, short ball there to Gibbs, not been in much action, Gibbs. Well, he's blew up there, and certainly beyond me what that's for. A good tackle from the Saints, quickly in there, but he's bringing Paul Farber out. As Gibbs there, prone on the ground. Certainly looked worse for wear earlier on. He's took it out of him. I think a head tackle being ruled, but didn't look anything in that at all. So that evens the penalties up 5 each, I reckon, now. So Castleford get the penalty. Well, he's all right now, Gibbs. He's up and alive and kicking. Marvellous what a bit of cold sponge does, isn't he? Anyway, Castleford to restart on the Saints 25. Plan move here. Ward driving upfield, back to Beardmore. Joyner onto Ketteridge. Looked a hint of a forward pass from Joyner to Ketteridge, but it's England at dummy half. He's going on his own. Head down, tries to drive through, but Farber and Tanner quickly in there. So it's Castleford putting the pressure on now. Southernwood on to Grant Anderson. I think that is the standoff for Castleford. Beardmore attacked in half-back. Short ball there to Ward, coming through at pace. Saints defence holds firm. Keep them out. Over to the left, Joyner. Short ball there to Gibbs. Plays it to himself. Knock on being ruled. No changeover. Well, he was playing it to himself. He did play it, and Saint Sattler came in very quick. The changeover being ruled, and Saints are back in possession. Castleford moving up very quickly. Going unnoticed by the referee. The ball back now to Paul Loughlin. Well, Gibbs takes him down there. A stiff arm tackle on Loughlin by Gibbs, and off the ball incident. Yes, the far side touch judge is on, and it's a good job too, because this referee, I don't know whether this touch judge with the yellow flag seen anything, but if that's not a sending off incident, I don't know what is. The ball had clearly gone. Loughlin kicks upfield. Well, he's indicated 10 minutes. Well, if that's 10 minutes, that's a ridicule. He's not actually done anything yet, but he's going over there, and the touch judge is reporting. Well, he's showing him the elbow. He's done it once. He's been warned. So if he shouldn't go down the tunnel, there's going to be trouble here, I'm sure, because Gibbs is going to come up for some treatment. Referee coming back over now. He's going to bring Gibbs out with Captain Joyner. He's showing him the elbow. He's ordered him off. Yes, he's sent him off. And rightly so. Rightly so, I may add. For the intervention of the far side touch judge. Only for the intervention of the far side touch judge. I'm sure no action would have been taken, as the referee had turned his back, and the touch judge on this side with the yellow flag didn't seem to have noticed anything. But it's Paul Loughlin now, fully recovered, 45 yards out, just over 10 yards in from the popular side touchline. There he is. He strokes it upfield. It's gone to the left of the posts, but it's gone dead, so Castleford are going to have to drop out from the 25-yard line. So Saints are going to get the ball back. There's just 5 minutes remaining of this first half, and Castleford are down to 12 men for the remainder of this game. So Ketteridge drops out. Hefty kick. McCormick stops it. Gathers the ball safely. Runs into Joyner and Beardmore. Bernard Dwyer from dummy half, but Joyner quickly round there. You've no chance of quick open rugby from the play of the ball, with the referee not penalising the offending side. He clearly looked to his right there, but didn't take any action. But it's Saints in possession. Quick hands. Beavers, Jace onto Loughlin. Forward pass being ruled. Well, we're certainly mauled here in this first half. Forward pass being ruled with Saints. Quick hands. You've got to put the quick hands through to beat this offside trap that the Castleford outfit are laying. But it's a scrum down on the Saints 25. Castleford feed. Roy Southernwood. Saints penalised for an infringement at the scrum. Foot up being indicated by referee Volante. So it's Ketteridge with the kick to touch for the added yardage. Finds touch 10 yards inside the Saints 25. Ketteridge now builds up ahead of steam, drives upfield, brought down 10 yards short of the line now. Ward coming on the burst. Puts one down, but Saints come in force, in numbers. You've got to get in numbers for to tackle these big Castleford forwards. Southernwood on to Anderson. I think that's Southernwood has acted half-back, trying to go through. The ball finally running dead under its own steam. So Saints restarts with a 25-yard tap restart. Beavers quickly takes it onto Kevin McCormick. Very unlucky there, Kevin McCormick, but he's brought down 10 yards short of the halfway. Quick play the ball. Mark Bailey onto Captain Cooper. Did well, Mark Leader, to take that ball under a lot of pressure there. Finally released and allowed to play it. On to Paul Farber. Inside now to Mark Bailey. But the ball goes loose. Castleford in possession. Marchant over there on the far right. Well, a knock-on, I think, being ruled there on the far side. A scrum down being awarded. Just couldn't see what had happened. But Saints captain Shane Cooper just receiving some treatment there. Took a knock in the tattle. But it's Mark Bailey. Feeds the scrum and Saints come up with the ball. Beavers acted half-back as the extra man onto Bernard Dwyer. But Grant Anderson and Marchant quickly in there to the tattle. Mark Bailey, Tony Burke. Joyner, good smother tattle. And Tony Burke's no chance of releasing that ball. Well, on the right-hand side there, Castleford line up again, but Mark Bailey coming through, still stood up, releases it to David Tanner. Kevin McCormick coming up for a pass, but he couldn't release it. Boothroyd completes the tattle. Castleford all offside on the right of the referee. Good ball to Loughlin, into space. Loughlin hurrying down. Well, Letchwork looms up on the inside. He couldn't release it, Paul Loughlin. It's the last tattle now of this set of 6. As Beavers grubbers for touch. It's the corner flag and keeps in field. So a 25-yard tap restart for Castleford. Saints putting the pressure on there. Ketteridge was looking to kick it, but he taps it to himself and drives upfield. Gains 10 yards. The ball now with Kevin Ward. Well, it's loose, but it's gone back. Very unlucky there, Bernard Dwyer. He just couldn't gather it. But Beardmore drops on that loose ball. Southernwood from the acting half-back position goes on his own. Well, we're playing in time added on. 4 injuries now. We're in the 40th minute of normal time. It's 8 points to 6 in Saints' favour. It's been a tremendous first half. The ball back to Kettridge for the kick upfield. Kevin McCormick is going to let it run dead. So it's a 25-yard tap restart for the Saints. A lot of kicking by both teams in this first half. Dwyer onto Les Quirk. Coming in field, looking for some action, Les Quirk. Only had a few touches on the far left. John Harrison now. Certainly a tough baptism for this lad. Bartley from dummy half. Gives a dummy, feeds inside to David Tanner. McCormick inside. Tanner couldn't release. Two-man overlap from Saints there, McCormick and Bailey, but he was unlucky there, Dave Tanner. Certainly Saints' last chance of scoring before the half-time hooter. Joyner comes across, brings Shane Cooper down. Plays it to himself, Cooper. Well, I don't know what the referee is motioning, but he's penalised Shane Cooper for an infringement at the play of the ball. So Castleford are in possession. They're just outside the Saints 25, and it's Kevin Ward in possession. It's coming crossfield, pushes one man down. Well, nearly 2 minutes of injury time played. And there's the half-time hooter now. So a tremendous game, and the score at half-time is Saints 8, Castleford 6. 2 Paul Loughlin penalty goals in the opening 11 minutes, then a brilliant Kevin McCormick try, the full length of the field after Castleford had nearly scored. Then Kettridge hitting back with a penalty goal halfway through the first half, and then Boothroyd finishing off the scoring in this first half with a 28th minute try in the corner. So at half-time it's 8 points to 6 for the Saints. Take the field for the second half of this Stones Bitter League clash versus Castleford. The half-time score, Saints going in just with a slender 2 points lead, 8 points to 6. No substitutions for the Saints in the first half or at half-time by the looks of things. And there was no substitutions for Castleford in the first half. But they did get Ron Gibbs sent off with just 6 minutes remaining of the first half. Sent off for a vicious attack on Paul Loughlin. As the ball went back for Loughlin to kick upfield, he went in with the elbow again, and the touch judge with the red flag spotted him, and he was duly sent off. And the Castleford men back on the field. Always a tremendous opposition from Weldon Road, big pack. Always had big forwards at Castleford, but Saints are certainly containing them today. Tattling's the name of the game. You just got to get in there and bang them down. They're not supermen. You take the legs and they've had it. One noticeable absentee on the Saints side, Roy Haggerty, out with a back injury, sustained, I believe, in training on Thursday evening. Roy, certainly a lively character. Be missed for his darting runs, but Saints are holding up well. Kettridge now to kick off, and away we go for the second half. John Harrison takes the ball just inside his own 25. David Plange and Beardmore. Well, England over the top. He turns around, looks at the referee, but no action's taken. It's still in possession. Tony Burke drives up, shoulder charges right into Kettridge. And the ball back to Loughlin for the kick upfield. No, Loughlin decides to run it, passes it on to Phil Beavers. Castleford move up very quickly. It's Grant Anderson brings him down, but David Tanner, I think it is, just tidies up there on the far side. Loughlin now, this is for the kick upfield. David Plange stops it with his foot, gathers it safely, Ruckley comes up with him but plunges away. Onto Ruckley. Quirk, watch Quirk come over. Tremendous pace on Quirk. See the determination on his face and plunge again. Beardmore attacked in half-back. Feeds it inside to Kettridge. Tony Burke in there with Shane Cooper. Just couldn't make out who it was. It was Castleford taking it to the left. Obstruction there. Well, clearly Ward in possession and being obstructed. Well, Joyner there made a fumble of that. The ball being knocked on. Offside decision being given there. I think it's Beardmore was to come up and yes, it was Beardmore. Fell on that loose ball, but judged to have been in an offside position. So Saints get the first penalty of the second half. Mark Lee to restart just outside his own 25. Tony Burke, first man in, coming from deep. Kevin Ward, Beardmore and Boothroyd it is bring Tony Burke down. Big John Harrison now. Coming upfield. Played a steady game so far, John Harrison. Cooper. Farber. Onto Loughlin. Onto Les Quirk. Runs past Plange as if he wasn't there. But number 6 there, Anderson, brings him down. Cooper, loop movement with Bailey. Onto Sean Allen. Saints certainly putting it together now. 50 yards upfield. Saints bringing it left. Farber. Went inside to Bernard Dwyer, but Castleford man was there. Mark Lee. Grubbers for touch. Yes. Good play from Lee on the 6th tackle. Grubbers for touch and finds touch 10 yards short of the Castleford line. So it's Castleford feed, Roy Southernwood. And they win the scrum. So it's up to Saints to hold them back in their own 25. Well, he was being marked by Bernard Dwyer. Southernwood, he went to play the ball to himself, which is illegal. If there's a man marking you, you cannot play it to yourself. I'm led to understand from these new rules. But he was penalised by referee Volante, wrongly in my opinion. But however, he doesn't care what I think, and Castleford are awarded the penalty. Just inside the Saints half now. Beardmore attacked in half-back. England, first receiver. Right into Sean Allen, Tony Burke and John Harrison. Bring him to ground. Southernwood onto Grant Anderson. I think that is there, just taking the ball. Onto Roy Southernwood. The Grubbers downfield. Yes, he finds touch. Good siding grubber kick there from Southernwood. And finds touch just about 10 yards short of the Saints line. Castleford wanting to make a substitution here. Mick Morgan down on the touchline there with Dean Sampson. And it's number 15, Dean Sampson. Yes, finally being allowed to come on to replace Keith England. So fresh man there, Sampson. He's the son of the former coach, Sampson at Castleford. And Mark Bailey, I think that is right from the base of the scrum. Nearly got through there. He's certainly proven his worth, Mark Bailey. Sits in possession, but Castleford lying up very quickly. Paul Farber now, well, second tackling there, Kettridge, right in front of the referee. Mark Lee attacked in half-back onto Sean Allen. Tries to straighten up, but Kettridge quickly in there with Kevin Ward. Forcing the Saints back. Cooper, little chip kick through. Gets the ball, Cooper. No, Beavers comes up with it. All on. Play allowed to go on. Beavers streaking away. Lofted pass to Kevin McCormick. He comes in field. Just over the halfway line now. Well, Cooper can see the what has to be done. Well, penalised Castleford for lying on. I don't know whether that's Ruckley. I think it's Ruckley. Being penalised. No, it's number 5, Chris Chapman. Being penalised for lying on, but as we were just saying, Cooper can see what has to be done. Castleford lying up very quickly. Cooper grubbed through there, just couldn't gather the ball, but Beavers managed to pick it up. That's the only way to beat him, with the lying up. Chip kick over the head, or the kick through. John Harrison now. Well, Ward there with a head tattle on Harrison. I mean, it's not surprising, like with Harrison being 6'7", but he should allow for that, should Ward. An international pac-man of his calibre, he should know better than this. But Saints are awarded a penalty, and it's a chance for Loughlin to extend Saints' lead. Well, Andy Platt going to Wigan early in the week for a reputed £140,000. Certainly the highest cash deal between Saints and the Wigan club. The Wigan paid £130,000 cash for Andy Gregory, so they've broke their own transfer record there. Andy Platt very unsettled since before the Players' Final last season. That's Paul Loughlin stepping up. Good chance for Loughlin there. He takes it to the right. Unusual for Paul Loughlin there. But as I was saying before, Andy Platt transferred to Wigan, and he certainly gave his all while he played for the Saints, but he said he was unsettled. It was alleged that a little bit of poaching had gone on, but we can't say anything by a person who remained nameless that answers the phone at Wigan. But anyway, now it's Saints in possession. Phil Beavers dumped down by Dean Sampson. Beavers plays it to himself. Sampson with a hefty tattle there. This referee in danger of losing control if he's not careful. Well, I don't know what's up with him now. He wants the ball. Oh no, the far side, I beg your pardon. I'm watching the action. The far side touch judges on. I would imagine he'd be dragging Dean Sampson out for that head-high tattle on Phil Beavers. That certainly looked like a bit of a forearm smash again. Perhaps they're training him in these wrestling techniques instead of the arts of rugby. But it is, yes, Dean Sampson being brought over, with Captain John Joyner being spoken to. Well, he's just spoken to him. I don't know whether he's awarding the penalty. Yes, the penalty there being awarded from where the ball has stopped play. So Paul Loughlin bangs it into touch, right on the halfway line. Well, Castleford all moving up. Kevin Ward there, Beardmore, and referee Valenti looks at him and takes no action. Ridiculous. John Harrison now, stretching those legs, but he can't get through. They've certainly held out firm. You'd expect the defence to hold out firm, wouldn't you, when they're offside all the match? But Shane Cooper, back to Mark Bailey, into space. But the Castleford defence closes down. Sean Allen inside to Paul Farmer, back to Sean Allen. Out again to Phil Beavers. Good dummy from Beavers. Back to Farmer. Good into passing play from the Saints. Kevin McCormick, I think it is. Or is it Dave Tanner? It's over there on the right anyway. Saints bring it left. Mark Bailey straightens up, looking for the gap as Castleford close in. That was the right idea from Bailey, but he couldn't get through. Beardmore banged him down. Cooper inside to Sean Allen, I think it is, but the ball goes to ground. Castleford snap it up, so Castleford back in possession just outside their own 25. Super tackling there from the Saints. Shane Cooper it was there, brought him down. Here's Sampson bursting through, fresh man, fresh big forward, Kevin Ward. Just penetrates the Saints half now as Castleford move it upfield. Onto Ketteridge. Beardmore attacked in half back. It's the sixth tackle now for Castleford. Back to Ruckley, up and under, lofted ball, flange is knocked on. There's going to be no try if he goes in, he's knocked on. He definitely harassed Les Quirk in the first place, but he knocked on, so it's no try. Well, it was on the sixth tackle, so the changeover being ruled. The ball now with Tony Burke. Kettridge wrestling him to the ground. And he can see the man's there, he can't get up, he can't make any forward progress. The referee's right there. Kettridge is in again onto Mark Lee. Sampson comes in as the second tackler. Beavers onto Bailey. Well, there's no way this Castleford outfit can be onside. The ball back to Loughlin. Super kick from Loughlin. Unfortunately, it doesn't run. Chapman takes the ball over there. Kevin McCormick finally brings him to ground. I think that's Boothroyd attacked in half-back. Shows the dummy, tries to go through, but Farber brings him down. Sampson now, Farber in again. Stepping up to prop forward Farber, but Sampson gets the ball out. Castleford keep it going. Bring it left. Super tackling the half-back pairing, Cooper and Bailey for Saints. Bring down Boothroyd. Right on to Kevin Ward. Brought down just short of the Saints 25. From acting half-back, Beardmore scooting through. Releases it back to Ward. He takes it to the left. Lofted pass over to Chapman. But he's brought down there by Kevin McCormick. And it's the last tackle of this set of 6 for Castleford. Ruckley, I think, with the up and under again. Quirk takes it safely this time. Good ball from Quirk. He's in space, Quirk. Still going, over to the right. Good play from Les Quirk. Took that ball well under a lot of pressure. John Harrison now, driving upfield. Paul Farber turning round in the tattle, looking to release. He couldn't do so. Good smother tattle there from Kevin Beardmore. Burke always looking to release it, the Saints, but Castleford tattling, holding firm. Mark Lee attacked in half-back. Saints take it right. Cooper, good ball to Loughlin, coming through at pace, inside to Sean Allen. Just in the Castleford half now, still going Sean Allen. Still going, not been brought down. Tremendous run from Sean Allen. A good 35-yard run from this second row forward for the Saints. Cooper, diagonal grubber through. McCormick going for the chase. The ball's still loose. Offside being ruled. Well, Castleford received a penalty. They also make another substitution with number 14, Gary Belcher, Australian international full-back, coming on, and David Ruckley coming off. So a straight exchange there. Belcher though slipping in at the full-back position. Castleford awarded the penalty. Kettridge for the further yardage. Finds touch virtually midway. No, I beg your pardon. Just 5 yards outside his own 25. Sampson, first receiver. Quarter of an hour of this second half gone. The score still 8 points to 6 in Saints' favour. Kevin Ward, blockbusting forward Ward, but not made a lot of impression this afternoon. Sampson. Farber in there, bounces him to the ground. Good tackle from Paul Farber. Southernwood there, well read there by the Saints. And Sean Allen comes up with the ball. John Harrison acting half-back, and Saints on the attack again. Bailey shows the dummy. And straightens up. Cooper onto Dwyer. Oh, solid run from Bernard Dwyer there, and Kettridge and Belcher bring him down. Martley with the dummy. Brought down 10 yards short of the Castleford 25. Mark Bailey, Saints take it to the right. Ball forward, lofted pass onto Tanner. Brilliant pass from Farber onto Tanner. Going up the right wing, but he's forced into touch. I think it's Dean Sampson was over there. No, Dean Sampson was in centre field. But he's taken into touch is David Tanner. 5 yards into the Castleford 25. It's going to be a Castleford feed. Scrumming down just inside the Castleford 25, and Cass come up with the ball. Kettridge now driving upfield. Harrison and Burke in there at the tattle. On to Sampson now. Harrison in there again. Certainly been getting stuck in as Harrison. He's there again. He must have a tremendous tackling rate for this game today. Burke and Harrison and again. Southernwood. Cass take it left. Back to Joyner. Lofted pass to Chapman, but that was a mile forward, but Chapman couldn't take it. So it's a scrum down again, just inside the Cass half. The score still 8 points to 6 for Saints. And last season we played Castleford in the opening match of the season. We went down by 20 points to 10. We was very unlucky there. And then we put things right with the return fixture here at Nosey Road by winning 14 points to 6. We also met Castleford in the first round of the Premiership last season and stuffed them out of sight by 40 points to 8 here at Nosey Road. As a rule, they're quite tight games, but certainly a good match today. No scoring so far in the second half. Nearly halfway through it, and the score still 8 points to 6. Saints come up with the ball from the scrum. McCormick onto Beavers, inside to Tanner. Scything run from Tanner there. Brilliant play from the brace of the scrum. Mark Bailey going inside onto Bernard Dwyer. Lofted pass there onto Shane Cooper. Centre field now, Cooper, 20 yards from the Cass try line. Mark Lee going from the dummy half position, trying to go through on his own, but there's no way through for him. Plays the ball to Cooper, left to Beavers. Forward, short ball to Mark Bailey, but plunges well in there. Dwyer, Tony Burke, steaming for the line. Back to Dwyer, sees the line, Dwyer driving upfield. Last tackle now for Saints. Have to spread it wide, I think. Quirk onto Farber. Little kick through. Good ball from Farber, but it's taken by Belcher. But he's taken in his in-goal area by his counterpart Beavers. Brilliant tackle from Beavers. As the crowd goes wild here, chanting Beavers, Beavers. He takes Belcher behind the line. Good little grubber kick through there from Farber. The idea was right. And Beavers obviously on the end of it. But Castleford forced to drop out from between their own posts. Hefty kick taken by Les Quirk. Drives upfield, Quirk. He's certainly a big lad. Southernwood gets him round the top as Beardmore has clamped his legs. Farber now. Just outside the Cass 25. Taking a knock there in the tattle Farber, but Tony Burke from a standing start, but he gains a valuable 10 yards as Tony. Martley. Inside pass to Farber. On to Mark Bailey. It's 10 yards short of the Cass line now. Saints eager to put more points on the board for this second half. Inside, Cooper. Still going, Cooper. Unlucky there, just couldn't release. Last tackle now for Saints. Beavers. Grubbing in through. Well, Castleford gather it. Was Castleford in possession, virtually on their own line. Sampson. Good 10-yard clearance run from Sampson. Kevin Ward now driving upfield. Has the ball stolen off him. Saints back on the attack. David Tanner. Good play there from Saints. Didn't see him pinch the ball, but Saints on the attack. Harrison did well to take that ball there from Bernard Dwyer. But it's Dwyer now. Attacked in half-back. Castleford all offside here. Over to the referee's right. Cooper! Oh, saw the gap, just couldn't get through. Super tackle there from Grant Anderson. Beavers onto Bernard Dwyer. Castleford defence holding firm. Cooper on the left. Grubbers through. Flanges there. But Cooper and Kettridge there in a collision, both down on the floor. But it's Castleford still in possession. Belcher. Well, Cooper's shaking the injury off. He's back up and in the Saints ranks, a true professional, a real tremendous asset to this Saints side. Harrison in there for the tackle, brilliantly taken down. Takes Belcher down as the gap opened. Southernwood. Sean Allen quickly in there. Sean Allen, he's play anywhere, Sean Allen. He's in the second row today. The ball back to Belcher. It's going to go in on the full, is it? No. Well, unlucky there, Les Quirk. He had to turn round. Lost sight of the ball and it went in touch right on the Saints 25-yard line. So it's a scrum down. Right on the Saints 25. It's Saints feed. Mark Bailey to feed. 2 scrums each in this second half. 23 minutes gone and the score still 8 points to 6, so it's still anybody's game. Next score could be crucial. Saints hook the ball. Well, Sampson well offside. Prop forward there and he's out and tackles Bailey before he's even got time to pass the ball to the right. Hefty kick upfield. Saints to restart with Mark Lee. On to Paul Farber. Back to Mark Lee. Saints spreading it quickly. Dwyer on the break. Inside to Cooper. Onto Bailey. Onto Sean Allen. Inside to Beavers. Brilliant play from the Saints. Brought down just outside the cast 25. Cooper again. He's the general. He keep him going. Inside. Lockley coming through. Inside. Flicks it up. Well taken by Mark Lee. Unlucky there, Paul Locklin, just brought down by an ankle tap. But it certainly Saints on the rampage now. Cooper onto Beavers. Yes, and he's in! Beavers touches down. It looked as though Cooper was free. He was hovering there in the air. The Castleford men just looked at him. Beavers came up in support. Cooper just flicked it up. And Beavers goes over for the try. Well, that's a crucial try now. Just as I was saying, the next try could the next score could be crucial. And Beavers goes in there. So all these moves revolving round Shane Cooper as Phil Beavers salutes the popular side crowd here as they chant his name. And that puts Saints 12 points to 6 in the lead with this kick just a formality surely. Yes, Paul Locklin strokes it over. No problem there. And 14 points to 6 now, Saints in the lead with Locklin's third goal of the afternoon, converting that Phil Beavers try. So Martin Kettridge kicks off deep into the Saints half. Les Quirk gathers it safely. Diagonal run from Quirk. Joyner tries to wrench the ball from his hands, but Mark Lee at dummy half flicks it up to Tony Burke, and that will put a new life into these Saints players now. Certainly been a titanic battle. Harrison there, unlucky. I think Castleford have come up with the ball. Well, Unfortunately, the last time we had a mistake near the our own try line. Castleford made us pay for it with Boothroyd going in. Let's hope the Saints defence can hold out this time. On to Kettridge. Paul Farber and Bernard Dwyer take him down, but it's only 10 yards from the Saints try line. Beardmore trying to scamper through. Well, Kettridge there, he's pushing Farber off, and Farber's just in with the tattle. Referee's right on the job and does nothing about it. Ward driving for the line, but he's forced back. Tremendous tackling from the Saints. Last tackle now of this set of 6 for Castleford. Beardmore tried to go on his own, but he's, well, Saints are penalised for offside, so that gives Castleford another 6 tackles surely. Joyner coming crossfield. It was Castleford 5 yards from the Saints line. Another 5 tackles to make it count. On to Belcher. Out to Plange, but super tackle there from Quirk. Loughlin comes in to complete, and Plange is dumped unceremoniously to the ground. Super crunching tackle from Quirk and Loughlin from that lofted pass by Belcher. Obviously Joyner there protesting vigorously, but nothing in that tackle at all. Body contact sport, and this is what you've got to expect. Obviously the referee judging that the injury has some seriousness with it, otherwise he would allow Beardmore to take the ball and carry on play. But it's David Plange being treated on the touchline. He's up now, he's going to play the ball. Beardmore attacked in half-back, the clock's restarted. Castleford with another 4 tackles, and Kettridge drives for the line. The ball's loose, Sampson picks it up, waved off again. Adjudged to have touched a Saints player. Well, no problem that time. Southernwood goes in with the knees, right in the back. I think it's Sean Allen, right in front of the referee there. He's definitely losing control, this referee. The ball going loose, and that Saints player going down on the ball, and Southernwood going in there, and knees right in the back of the Saints player. Big John Harrison it was, but he's got up to restart play. Saints are in possession, they're only 10 yards from their own line. Farber receiving some treatment there. Tony Burke, well, temper's getting a little frayed now. The ball going in touch via the referee there, so it's still going to be a scrum down as Saints make a substitution with John Harrison coming off. He's had a good baptism, he's not done much wrong today, Big John Harrison, and he's replaced by Paul Jones, receiving a standing ovation from the Saints crowd. Alex Murphy shakes his hand there down on the dugout, but Castleford come up with the ball. Marchant in with a loop movement there, but it's Marchant now attacked in half-back. On to Kettridge. Sean Allen and Paul Jones right in at the action. Beardmore trying to scamper through. Obviously very dangerous near the line, Castleford. On to Kevin Ward. Looking to release, but super tackling from the Saints, hold firm. On to Belcher in the line. Obstruction there again. I don't know what this man's thinking of. Blatant obstruction right in front of the referee and in front of the posts. But it's Grant Anderson that goes in for the touchdown as the Saints supporters give the slow hand clap. So Anderson going in there for the touchdown. Martin Kettridge lining up for the conversion. 14 points to 10 at present. 9 minutes of the game remaining, plus injury time, which I would imagine is probably a couple of minutes. But it's Beardmore receiving treatment, and Ketteridge lining up for the conversion. So Ketteridge there lining up. Strokes it cleanly right between the sticks. Well, just a 2-point gap now. 14 points to 12, still in Saints' favour. And as I said, just about 8 minutes of normal time plus a couple of minutes injury time remaining. So Castleford putting plenty of pressure on the Saints there on their own line. Must have got through about 24 tackles right on the Saints line. They held out firm, and then it was a blatant obstruction that allowed Anderson to go in for a try. The ball going directly dead from the kick-off, which constitutes a penalty. So if Ketteridge wishes to go for goal, I'm sure he can do. Yes, he is going to have an attempt at goal. It's centre field. He's got a hefty boot on him, and this would level the scores up if he did convert it. Castleford down to 12 men from the 34th minute of the first half, with Ron Gibbs being sent off for the second bad tackle, going in with the elbow on Paul Loughlin. But it's Ketteridge. Well, the ball falls over, so Ketteridge allowed to replace it. So Ketteridge again, lining up. Goes to the right, so no goal, but Saints do have to drop out from the 25. So it's Castleford ball back. Phil Beavers is going to step up to the centre of the 25 to drop out. Low kick from Beavers. Marchant takes it. Runs right into Tony Burke. Loughlin and Matt Lee quickly in at the tackle. But Loughlin being brought out for going in with a fist, allegedly by referee Volante. Surprising what he can see and what he can't see, isn't it? That just levels the penalties up. 5 penalties each now in this second half. So it's Castleford putting the pressure on again. Just waiting for the ball to come back on the pitch. Beardmore to restart. Sampson, first man in. Farber and Tony Burke with Matt Lee. Combined Saints front row, take him down. There's Ketteridge driving forward. Castleford making an impression. Just 10 yards short now. The ball's loose. Well, knock on being ruled. Obviously, Beardmore, he lost that ball going through, but he regathered it. Constitutes a scrum down. Well, Paul Farber just being adjudged as the man of the match. Well, infringement at the scrum there, but it's allowed to go on. Saints gather the ball, regather the ball after Castleford tried to hook it. Certainly Mr. Volante leaves a lot to be desired here at St Helens today. But Castleford in possession, Southernwood. Joyner attacked in half-back for Cass. Brings it to the right, on to Beardmore. Tries to duck through the tackle of Loughlin and Mark Lee. Marchant to Sampson. Dwyer trying to release the ball, but he couldn't do so this time. Beardmore now, Ketteridge on a straight run, straight powering run into the Saints forwards. Ward. Well, referee Valanci in again. Saints are being penalised. For what, I don't know, but the referee's right in on the job. As I've said before, he's going to lose control of this game, this fella. Beardmore, I think it is again, that's down injured. Certainly a lively character in the loose, Beardmore, and he's a keystone in the Castleford pack. But Saints are awarded the penalty. Whether Castleford elect to take the penalty goal or run it, I would imagine they'll have a go for the goal. Three minutes of normal time remaining, plus must be at least 2 or 3 minutes injury time, stoppage time I should say. So it's Kettridge lining up. This will level the scores if he gets it. 14 points to 12 at present. Kettridge, yes, he slots it right between the sticks, so that's all squared, about 5 minutes to play. The Saints having to make a substitution now. Tony Burke coming off, replaced by John Harrison. Ball Lachlan kicks off, Marchant gathers, Quirk there, he tries to run right into Les Quirk. Harrison quickly in with Mark Lee. It's Castleford in possession, onto Sampson, coming down the blind side, taken down by Bernard Dwyer and Les Quirk. Oh, beg your pardon, it's John Harrison and Les Quirk. Ward coming through on a run, straight block-busting run from Ward, plays it to himself. Kevin Beardmore, back to Kettridge, Grubbers for touch, yes, good kick from Kettridge, bisects Les Quirk and Phil Beavers and finds touch midway between the Saints line and their own 25. It's a scrum down with a Saint speed. Mark Bailey gathers it safely. Shane Cooper looking for the way through. Beavers on his right, but Cooper couldn't release. Good smother tackle from Southernwood and Kettridge. Saints taking it to the right. Paul Jones, substitute forward there, just getting out of his own 25. Matt Lee, inside ball to Farber, supported by Cooper. Quick hands from Saints, back to Beavers. The ball out to the right. Tanner, I think it is he going in for the corner? Just brought down short. Has he bundled into touch? Well, must be just bundled into touch there. Great play from the Saints, sweeping upfield. I think it was Dave Tanner just pushed into touch. But Cooper there, a lovely short ball inside to Farber. Farber spread it out to the right, and that certainly puts Saints back on the attack. We're playing in stoppage time now. 40 minutes of full time gone in this second half. Castleford feed the ball, and Castleford come up with it. Well, Southernwood there, well, certainly play acting there. Oh, the ball onto Sampson. Up to Saints to hold this Castleford outfit in their own 25. Hopefully get the ball after the sixth tackle and see if they can capitalise by making a result out of it in the stoppage time. It's 14 points each. Onto Ward, flicks it up to Chapman. On to Sampson, I think it is. And Castleford still in possession. Last tackle it is for Castleford. They just penetrated the Saints half. Well, just waiting for the referee's signal. The ball has gone down. It's going to be a scrum down, a knock-on being ruled. It'll be a Saints feed. Mark Bailey over there to feed. Well, Castleford come round offside, but Saints come out with the ball. Last chance for Saints now to get points on the board. Quick hands, Beavers on the break. Lofty pass over to Quirk, takes it with one hand. Pushes Flange out of the way. Brought down on the 25. Quick play wanted from the Saints. Loughlin, Cooper, back to Loughlin. Quick ball to Sean Allen. There's the final hooter. I don't think the referees heard it. Well, play should have been allowed to go on there. But the final result here at Nosey Road is 14 points to the Saints, 14 points to Castleford. Very unlucky there, Saints, certainly being assisted by poor refereeing in my and probably about 5,000 or 6,000 Saints Specky's opinions. Just hear from yourself, but the spoiled shirt, Saints powered into the lead in the first minute with a Loughlin penalty goal. Then another one in the 11th. Then in the 15th minute, a spectacular McCormick try. Saints are 8 points to 0 up. Kettridge hit back with a 20th minute penalty goal, 8 points to 2. Then a Boothroyd try after a Saints mistake, so the half-time score was 8 points to 6. The second half, just 24 minutes before any scoring took place, and it was Shane Cooper, the architect of so many Saints runs and points. He was stopped virtually on the line. Beavers was on hand. Cooper slipped the ball to Beavers. He went over. Loughlin scored. 14 points to 6. Then Grant Anderson hit back with a very debatable try after some obstruction, and that was 14-12. And then the referee giving a penalty in the 37th minute of normal time. Kettridge converted it, and the score running out at 14 points each. So on behalf of Saints Rugby League Football Club, Peter Tushingham Photography, Brian Pears, your regular cameraman, myself, Ron Hoof, I bid you farewell from Nosey Road after what should have been a Saints win, but definitely Castleford having the assistance of the referee, and we look forward to joining you next week at Norton Park Widnes for the first round of the Lancashire Cup. Certainly a tough tie at Widnes.